Hey, what's going on, Who That Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. Thank you so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. And on this edition, we're going to be breaking down the big matchup. The New Orleans Saints head to Foxborough, Massachusetts, to Gillette Stadium to take on the New England Patriots. And what you have right now, Who That Nation, New England Patriot fans that may be checking out this podcast, what you have are two teams that are trying to turn the page. Okay, you got the New England Patriots, who had a legendary quarterback, and Tom Brady brought respect and credibility to the New England Patriots organization alongside his head coach, Bill Belichick. And then you have the New Orleans Saints, who were led by Drew Brees, who brought respect and credibility and champion in the championship to the New Orleans Saints franchise alongside his coach, Sean Payton. But now you have two guys, two different signal callers, Mac Jones with New England and Jameis Winston with the New Orleans Saints. And both of these guys are trying to create a legacy for themselves. So this is going to be a tough game to me. You know, this is going to be a tough game for the New Orleans Saints because Gillette Stadium is a tough place to play. They're very prideful people out there. They love their New England Patriots, and the New England Patriots don't really lose a lot of games at home. And this team, this franchise isn't accustomed to losing at home. But the New Orleans Saints are coming off a very embarrassing loss, and I do mean embarrassing. One of the worst losses in Sean Payton's coaching the Saints. I mean, period, point blank, period. I have never seen the Saints look that bad offensively as they have. Look, I never thought I'd see the day where the New Orleans Saints are already dead last in offense. I just thought I'd never see the day because Sean Payton is such a great offensive mind, and I always thought that he would put the right pieces in place. But I understand about the whole next man up mentality. I get it, right? Next man up, next man up. We talk about this all the time. Next man up. But it's only a matter of time before the next man up mentality catches up with you. Guys are starters for a reason. There's a reason why there is a depth chart, and there's a reason why some guys are at the top, and then you have other guys that are at the bottom. It's because the guys that are at the top are better than the guys at the bottom. It's just as simple as that. And you can have depth on your team, but the guy that's coming in to replace the guy that's the starter is not going to be better than the starter 9 times out of 10. All right. And I feel like that was one of the games where the Saints' next man up mentality caught up with them. Okay. The offensive line. You had Cesar Ruiz playing center, right? You had him as the center. He was out there calling, supposedly calling signals, wasn't really identifying the pressures, and they put pressure on Jameis Winston all day, all night. And also Jameis Winston really didn't do a good job in his own right communicating with the offensive line in order for him to dissect some of the defenses and pressures in his own right. And that was one of the main things that we as Saints fans we realized that we missed. Now that Drew Brees is gone. Okay, so these guys are going to have to find better ways to communicate. All right, but offensively, wide receivers are not getting open. They're not getting separation. I mean, when you go out there with a bunch of undrafted free agents, it's just a matter of time for that kind of stuff catches up with you as well. And now you're going to New England where they take away things that you do best and they capitalize on the things that you don't do. Like, if you turn the ball over, for example. The Saints turning the ball over last week, the New England Patriots are going to turn that into points. If the Saints continuously, jump off sides and give, the Patriots penalty after penalty, they're going to capitalize on that. They're a well-disciplined team. They don't get many penalties called on them. They're really technically sound, when it comes to offense as well as defense. They have cornerbacks that can cover and also turn the ball over. And I know Saints fans may not want to hear that after what they seen those interceptions being thrown by Jameis Winston. But, the question on everybody's mind is who is going to win this football game? I am one of those people. I'm a realist. I'm a realist when it comes to the game. Okay, there are times where I feel like the Saints can kind of muster up success. And I say, well, I think they're going to go ahead and win this football game. And there's times where I just feel like the Saints don't have a chance to win a football game, or they have a chance, but they're not going to win a football game. And I'm just going to be honest with you today. I do not feel that the Saints are going to beat the New England Patriots. I don't. I don't feel like this is going to be the game where the Saints actually get the victory. I think the Saints are going to lose this football game. And, it's going to be unfortunate, because they're going to drop them to 1-2. And this is just my opinion. But one main reasons why I feel like the Saints aren't going to win is because I just feel like the New England Patriots are just one of those teams that can just completely shut you down, and they can completely impose their will on you, and they can completely confuse you to a point where you don't know which way they're coming. And then when you go out there to Gillette, you run into a buzzsaw and you find yourself being behind the 8 ball. And what the Saints have shown me last week, and until they show me otherwise, that they can't play from behind. And I think that the New England Patriots saw what the Carolina Panthers did last week, and their objective is going to be to start strong. This is going to be one of those games I feel that if they win the coin toss, I'm talking New England, they're going to try to get the ball first, and they're going to try to drive the ball down the field. And they're going to try to get, they're going to try to get points so that Jameis Winston can go out there and try to win the game for them. Now, I will say this. Jameis Winston, I don't feel like he's going to play like he did last week versus the Carolina Panthers. I think he's going to play a lot better. There's something about Jameis Winston that is just absolutely weird to me. When he goes up against guys and teams that you feel like are not superior to the Saints, or, or in Tampa's case, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he ends up looking absolutely horrible in those games. But then when he goes up against teams that have elite defenses or offense or a good quarterback, he goes out there and he plays extremely well. It's like the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type effect when it comes to that. And I'm only saying this because I haven't seen him, bring a team back. I have not seen this in the Saints uniform. I'm looking at the New Orleans Saints and how, they're structured right now. They need a lot of help offensively. They need guys that can get open, and they need to find innovative ways in order to get their playmakers involved. I feel like Deontay Harris needs to be involved more. I feel like Taysom Hill needs to be involved more. And I do feel like they're going to be in this game. And I feel like Sean Payton is going to try to get these guys involved, because Sean Payton is one of those guys, when he knows he's going up against a guy that has a great mind like him, and also is a really respectable coach, that's when it brings out the best in him. We've seen it when they went up against Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers a couple years ago. We've seen it in several cases when he went against Sean McVay with the Los Angeles Rams. So the creative juices are going to be flowing. I feel like the Saints are going to be better than they were last week. But I just think that Gillette Stadium, the New England Patriots are just going to win this football game. But I do think that the Saints are going to be competitive. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I don't think the Saints are going to get absolutely destroyed. And some people will probably get upset and say, oh, well, TJ, we got some defensive players coming back. The defense is going to get Tano Passanio and CJ Garner-Johnson, and you got Lattimore. Yeah, all that is true. And I'm not saying that those guys aren't going to matter in this game. I just feel like the New England Patriots, I feel like the play calling and the inability for the Saints to do anything offensively for the last couple of weeks, is an alarming issue. I just feel like it's going to be one of those games where, the Saints lose. And I just think that it's just on to the next game where they can actually probably start, developing and start streaking, now that you got some games where, you can probably come up with a game plan to win. And then ahead of the bye week, you start to get guys back. And that's when I feel like the Saints are going to really start rolling, when they start to get guys like Michael Thomas back and get people like Traquan Smith back and Davenport back and Quan Alexander. That's when I feel like the Saints are going to start to really find themselves. But I just think that this is going to be one of those games where I feel like Mac Jones is going to go out there. He's going to perform well. I don't think that the New England Patriots are going to ask him to do too much. And I just think that they're going to ask him to sustain drives, try to get the ball into the end zone, settle for field goals if necessary, and count on the defense to try to get pressure on Jameis Winston, because we've seen last week, and that's just who Bill Belichick is. What he does is he looks at what other teams do against you. He sees your weaknesses and he exploits them. So we know that Jameis Winston has great arm talent, but he gets a little bit of happy feet when he starts to get pressure on himself. And if you get enough pressure on him, that's when he's going to start to be like, man, I got to do this. I got to do this. And, that's when the mistakes start to happen. Now, I know some people probably say, well, TJ, what about Alvin Kamara? Alvin Kamara is out there. He deserves to have a better game. He needs to have a better game. He's up for, to have one of those breakout games. Yes, that's true. But once again, Bill Belichick understands that, he is the straw that stirs the drink. I'm talking Alvin Kamara. He's the guy that defenses look at and they feel like if they neutralize him, then, everybody else is going to fall. And I feel like Bill Belichick is going to go in to the game trying to shut down Alvin Kamara. And if you had a choice to allow Alvin Kamara to beat you or Jameis Winston to beat you as a coach, what would you choose? So I think the New Orleans Saints, unfortunately, are going to lose this football game versus the New England Patriots. Of course, as a Saints fan, I hope that I'm wrong, but that's just the way that I see the game going. But I would love to hear from you. What do you think about the Saints versus New England Patriots game? What do you think the Saints have to do in order to win? Do you think the Saints are going to win? Do you think they're not going to win? Comment down below, like and share this video. This has been the State of the Saints podcast brought to you by manscaped.com. Use the promo code State of Saints and save 20% off your purchase. And also DraftKings.com. Use the promo code TPPN, which is the Pigskin Podcast Network, TPPN, in order to get discounts and chances to win prizes with DraftKings. Till next time, all I got to say is